YouTube, Vampire the Masquerade V5, What Gives Men Wings? Session 2, Episode 2. We're going to start with Bodhi. I usually do these by who I think will take the least amount of time, and I'm usually wrong. The elevator opens on the second floor in Elysium. The crowds have mostly just calmed down, and you all cast off in separate directions. Bodhi first, who goes through the kind door, back down into the club, where the blaring techno music. And Candy is diligently waiting for you, maybe just a little bit impatient, but she instantly spots you, smiles broadly. She's really into you.
Yes, and he would go up and say something corny like, "Hi there, my siren. Have you been waiting all night?"
Yes, we have. We are very keen to get going.
So where do you want to go?
I got a place nearby we can go. My friend is very interested in meeting you. You're gonna like her.
Let's do that.
Alright. You cast on out back where her friend is. That is in the parking lot. There's a whole score of people here, and her friend is perched over a small Oppo Tigra, like a late model, and is smoking a joint. She is a slightly tanned brunette of either Middle East or even Indian heritage. And yes. Candy introduces her as Demetria to you. And she says, well, you're just her type, aren't you? Let's go and have some fun. She throws the joint away. She gives you like a scan top to bottom, and these girls are ready to have some fun. You've already charmed one of them, and whatever has transpired between the two, one has persuaded the other, so they're both on board. You cram in the tiny little Tigra, and you are away to Candy's apartment, which is very nearby. Both of them are pretty keen, like already in the car. You guys are mostly naked. As you get to her apartment, you are all three of you butt naked in the same bedroom. Do you want to feed, or do you just want to have sex?
Both.
Both? Okay. When you feed on one target, you can usually get away with feeding on the target. Candy definitely consents. She's into whatever. But Demetria seems to like Candy more than she likes you. And she's not really gonna not look at you as you feed. It's not dark enough that she won't spot you feeding. And even though Candy is into like I want to say BDSM stuff, Demetria seems to not be. And Candy is telling her off, but Demetria is gonna oppose BDSM stuff. Even though Candy is telling her now that it's okay if you want to do that. How are you gonna
I'm shaking my Oh, I was actually smart. So yeah, I will let her see it.
Okay.
And afterwards, I will, I guess, mount Demetria.
Okay.
And look deep into her eyes and say, "Forget."
Cool. Okay. You have a discipline for that. All right.
Yes.
That's two checks. One is to prevent her from immediately like breaking off the sex, and I believe the discipline that she doesn't get a save because she's kind.
Yes.
All right. Let's have you roll your charisma or persuasion would be for your seduction, but because you're having sex, let's say you roll either dexterity or stamina.
Alright. My worst attributes. But let's see. Persuasion. Ah, we have to do it like that. There. Do I get my victim specialty?
Yes, I will give you one. I'll give you one difficulty less, and also you're acting on the compulsion, so I'll actually give you 2 extra dice. So difficulty 3, and you get 2 extra dice.
So 2 extra.
Yeah.
Yes.
4 successes, masterfully done, as you have done it many times before.
Yeah.
None of the women are the wiser. However, you feed from candy before you use the discipline. Does the discipline require a rouse check?
No, it's free.
No.
That's kind of weird. It's just
Perfect.
free. So charisma dominate. Or well, I don't have to roll because she can't.
No,
oppose.
she's kind. She cannot oppose dominate. No.
So she will forget me nibbling on her friend.
Lovely. All right. And she doesn't seem to mind even at the time. A couple of hours later, they are huddled together, mostly asleep. What do you do now?
Well, I leave to my haven.
Lovely. You abandon the 2 to their sleep.
Yes.
We're gonna do Elizabeth next. Elizabeth, you're a couple of hours in the past. And yeah, you get to Slake. Elizabeth, you arrive at the address. What does it look like, Bodhi, from street level?
From street level, it looks like an old, like multi-story house. So maybe built in the 40s, 50s. So nothing special from the outside. So, but there are like the attic, or like top floor, is specially rebuilt, so you have to be like let in, kind of.
Right, security door and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Elizabeth, however, rings the front door bell, which is on the bottom.
Yes, and she would get picked up by Nova.
Nova answers the door. She says, I've been expecting you, but you are not a looker. Sorry, Bodhi likes what Bodhi likes, and you don't look like what he likes. Would you like to come in?
Well, yes. Thank you, I guess.
You enter a small room on the first floor. She pokes at an empty fireplace and she says, We mostly live on the top floors. But if you're not staying long, we can use this room. And she sits herself on the couch. It is, of course, minus 1 billion degrees in here because the fire has not been going on. Whatever the main living area is, it's on the higher floors. For all intents and purposes, this looks either very poorly maintained or mostly abandoned, even.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "How can I help?" And she crosses her legs as she sits on a couch.
Elizabeth would first ask, so how many of you are living here?
The occupants of the house are 9 adults. Right, Bodhi?
Yes. I said 7 or 6, but I think 9
Sure.
including Bodhi.
Sure,
works.
9 including Bodhi.
And I would guess outside of Bodhi, everyone else is a girl.
Everyone
Yes.
else is indeed a consenting woman. She puts a little inflection on the woman, like maybe slightly even toxic, I want to say.
Okay. So, I've been sent here to ask some questions, and just broadly, how well do you know Bodhi?
He's a very complicated person. Not a lot of us know him perfectly, but a lot of us know that he is a good man, a creative, and a gentleman. What exactly about him do you want to know?
Well, and she would ask it in like trying not to get an answer way kind of question.
Right?
What do you know about his work?
He says he's a I want to say professional bohemian. He works whatever strikes him at the time. Right now, I don't think he's actually employed in anything. He spends most of his days pondering the philosophical, the creative, with the rest of us, and he's a guiding light to our thoughts at all times.
Definitely quality vibes. She would ask, and do any of you know what he does in the day?
He is variously engaged throughout his days and his nights. Just for example, tonight he was not here. He is meeting some associates. Do you have any particular day in mind?
Just any day, when the sun's up, does he like to go out, have a coffee or something?
Bodhi, what did you do yesternight?
Yesternight, I would have spent most of the day with the girls, or like the night. So either doing baking or meditating with them.
She says, well, just the yesternight we were doing baking initially, and we created. She kind of lists like what exactly they cooked, and then we meditated throughout.
Sounds very much like Bodhi, as far as I know him. Good. Could I talk to any of the other residents?
Anyone in particular? And she half raises from her seat.
No one really. I don't really know who lives here. Anyone works?
I will go fetch one. Would you like some tea?
No thank you.
He says, we will be right back.
And while she's gone...
Yeah.
Just looking around... Is there anything that could be incriminating that she sees? Or is it like completely clean, but not in the clean way, but in the Camarilla clean way?
I'm gonna say that Bodhi has a very both high wits and both high intelligence. He does have a pretty low resolve, though. No, not in the vampire way. All of the important stats he has very high stats in.
Okay.
So he wouldn't have made that mistake. But this is definitely, if you're a vampire, you definitely know that this is a vampire's haven.
Okay.
That's kind of obvious to vampires.
Yes, and also to add flavor, you're on the first floor. It's like an empty building on the first floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, you would definitely be
So
like...
would I need to go to the second or third floor?
Top floor.
Which
so
is...
like the addict, even.
Okay.
Attic.
Attic. It's a rebuilt penthouse, I guess. Because of the age of the building, it would be the penthouse-ish, or top floor.
Mm-hmm. Good. So it's a big building, so she definitely wouldn't hear anything while she waits.
You hear Nova walking up the stairs, but very soon you lose sound of her footfalls. So you are completely alone on these lower levels of the house.
Well, just do not sit idly waiting. She would get up and just walk around, look at the stairs, and try to figure out if anyone wanted to come in who's not a vampire, but trying to find vampires, how easy would it be to identify and to gather evidence in the somewhat limited area that she can walk in without being too much of a nuisance for now?
Roll investigation intelligence.
Okay. Amazing. I will do my worst stats.
You can also do wits, if that's a little bit better.
I won't
You got
need
2
it.
successes. Yeah. You scour this bottom floor. There's a dilapidated kitchen, mostly unused. There's a fridge. There's a couch. There's an ugly old statue. There's a door leading down.
But she wouldn't have any knowledge that the good stuff goes on at the top. So basically she would expect it to be downstairs because that's pretty stereotypical.
Yeah.
She would try to open the door.
The door clicks open. I'm gonna DM rule that the cell is in the basement, Bodhi.
Yes. And it's not pretty.
So probably a least locked door. You have a lot of resources. Do you have any kind protection stuff?
No, the kind protection. So you probably would get into the basement, but there would be like all the other doors would be basically pretty like bare, like ordinary doors. One of them is a literal cell door.
Alright.
Okay.
You find the cell area. What does this place look like, Bodhi?
You would find maybe if not now, but you could have possibly seen blood on the floor into the entrance of the cell. And inside the cell is like a real prison cell. It's all concrete, a mattress, a bucket to piss in, no light, nothing.
But
So
it's empty right now.
Yeah.
But
yes, it's empty.
But there would be like some dried blood on the floor?
Not now, because
Not now.
he hasn't used it in a while, but there could have possibly been. So unless you have super high investigation or like Auspex, you wouldn't see it, because it's been like triple cleaned.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I have neither of those things, so.
Yep.
But it's not normal to have a prison cell.
It is not.
No.
So, taking in that information, she would walk back into the main area, and is the girl down there now, or are they still not there?
Do you linger investigating the room, or do you go back immediately?
From just like a look around, if she doesn't see or smell anything that's, out of the way, then she would immediately walk back in.
Right. They have not arrived yet, and you return exactly to the place where you were sitting.
Then she would walk up a couple of stairs, as long as she sees something that seems interesting, or until she meets them walking down.
You climb a few stairs and you hear them coming down. They would be on the 3rd floor, and you are between floor 1 and floor 2. Do you stop or do you go up?
I go up until like floor 2, and then
Alright, you
wait
go up to
for them
floor
at the base of the stairs.
Is floor 2 very similar to floor 1, Bodhi, or is it already
Floor 2 would have maybe have like a sofa, TV, but it would be like visibly bare. It would look like a meth house.
Right.
Like it's not, yeah.
Right. Roll investigation.
Okay, investigation intelligence or investigation wits?
You can do both. Let's do wits, because you're having a cursory glance. You're not and I'll increase your difficulty this time. Because you're not investigating, you're having a cursory look.
Yeah.
So you have less time to process information.
What should be the difficulty?
Let's say 4.
Yeah, I definitely don't get that.
Yeah, roll. You might.
No, I won't. I have 3 die.
10s explode. Alright, failure by 2. Nothing bad happens. Yeah, a pretty like lived-in area, but also very Spartan. And there are 2 figures behind you. Nova says, do you want to see more of the house? We have that's the oldest wing over there. I can show you if you like. This is Juliet, by the way. And yeah, the 2 women, like, you blink your eyes, like at first they look like twins, but no, they're not twins. They're about the same age. They're both blonde, fair skin, bright eyes.
So it would already be like, oh, he definitely has a very specific type.
Yeah, very specific type.
Okay. She would turn to them and say, maybe, but first, I would like to ask, Juliet, if she could tell me if Bodhi ever does anything weird, and I would try to use like some type of persuasion of like, hey, share this information. It's fine.
Right. Sure. Yeah. Roll persuasion. Yeah. Roll your persuasion.
Okay. So
all of your bells and whistles that you have.
Persuasion, charisma.
Yeah.
The question is, does my Oh, I would also activate awe, so I get an extra die.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Roll it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question about this exchange.
Yeah. She kind of hangs on you. She's a very, very dreamy girl. She says, well, I mean, he's a very weird guy. He does a lot of weird things. but he's so kind and so nice. And she's like super weird. She's like, when we make love, he alternates between very generous and slightly pesky. He likes to bite, but it doesn't hurt too much, and it feels so good. She's talking like she's high, but that's not because of Bodhi, that's because of your awe.
Yeah, that's definitely not good. And she would almost try to stop her from talking when she would say, "Thank you."
The two women look at each other. They were both affected by your awe. They're like, can we help in any way? They're like swirling back and forth.
Could I see the living area, if possible?
Roll again for Nova. Juliet is like, yeah, sure. Nova's like, shut the fuck up.
The same one, right?
Yeah, same roll.
Okay, I think presence to it.
Jesus,
oh yeah, I'm good at this persuasion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stuff.
Yeah, you can see the living area. Because of the awe, these kine are absolute putty in your hands. They dreamily lead you up into the actual heart of the beast. There are 2 haven dots. Let me see what kind of.
Yeah, I have a quick question
defense.
here.
Yeah.
Does this break the tenant? Because I mean, you're using disciplines. I don't know. It's just a fault.
You gave him permission.
Okay. Yeah, you have
What
technically been given permission. But yeah, it was just a fault. That like where we draw the line as a group.
I mean, definitely if you wouldn't have given any type of permission, it would be.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like if I just walk in and you just say like, yeah, you can go in and talk to them, but like it was specifically to investigate.
Yes. So it was just a question for, yeah.
Yeah. Had you not given permission, we'd have talked more about it, but seeing as how you did. Solid doors, reinforced for heavy core. Good looks, not that great, but cheap. Random break-ins, curious mortals, low-effort hunters. Only trusted individuals know the location. They are in your power currently. No obvious signage, mailboxes, etc. Yeah. Passive obfuscation blends into surroundings. You were given the address. Early warnings, not trapped. Door alarms, motion sensors. You were escorted. No armed traps, no automated weapons, no anti-sunlight system, no dedicated guards, no wards against disciplines, and no protection against planned raids. You just walk into Bodhi's most sacred place. What does this look like, Bodhi?
Yeah, I sent an image last week, but it's a really bohemian place. There is a lot of tapestry, dream catchers, and it's a lot of like pillows, colorful colors, tie-dye shirts, and like, yeah, loose clothing, all of that. And you can clearly like smell incense. A lot of mats. A lot of mats. I think you get the vibe.
Yeah, I definitely get it. And I would see everyone in there, right?
Most of the girls
like
have separate
rooms,
rooms, right?
by the twins.
No. They don't have separate rooms.
Aha! It's a communal area.
Yeah.
I would think Bodhi is the only one. It's not even a room. It's more of an alcove that's like made into a room.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Most of them are asleep. The ones that are awake, because you're always still active probably, they kind of begin hovering around you. They're wanting to help you. They're like, hello, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so. Well, what's up?
Would there be any clear signs, like just completely clear signs that Bodhi has been feeding on them?
You can lick wounds closed. That's a mechanic, and
yes.
probably Bodhi doesn't leave any scars.
Bodhi would do it because he's smart enough.
On the merchandise, yeah. So no, there's no. They are not wounded in any way. They're not.
And yes, also for flavor, he would only feed on them in like extreme situations. We would also get into that later in the story of why.
Okay, yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So, since I already got the two kind of charmed, I would turn to them, eyebrows raised, just seeing like, why are you all looking like the same person? Not asking that, like asking herself in his mind, mainly. And she would ask, so... does anyone know clearly what Bodhi does in his free time? Like, she's asking that question specifically to pry information if they know that he's a vampire, because my character doesn't know that most of them don't know.
Okay. Nobody's gonna say the word vampire. And nobody's gonna say the word drinking blood. Yeah, one of them slips like, he's inactive during the days. Like, he sometimes go out. Whenever he goes out, it's at night. Most of them are like, he's like if you ever meet him during the day, or if you're like, nobody goes behind in his little like back thing, but if you can sometimes see him. He's definitely pale. He's very cold to the touch. But not always. Like, they know enough, but at the same time they don't know enough. Like, sure, he's a stoner. Yeah. He gets cold. He falls asleep without putting a blanket on. He gets cold in the morning, whatever.
But it would be clear to her that if any other like independent investigator would come in from the prince, like, it would just be a bust.
It will be a bust if the investigator is asking the questions that you are asking, yeah. Another vampire can easily determine that these guys know. So yes, the Masquerade is indeed being... For as far as the Camarilla is concerned, the Masquerade is being broken. These all need to be mind-wiped. They all need to be... what's it called? Dominated, and...
which is a big no-no for Bodhi.
Yeah.
Okay, my character... Well, Elizabeth would say, well, thank you girls for the kind welcome, and for what you've shared with me. I shall take my leave now.
They're like, oh, we're gonna see you out. They're super helpful. Because of the awe, and they like walk you out.
And that's also the point where she would turn off awe and yeah.
Where are you gonna go after this?
Well, depends on if by the time that she's done this, does Bodhi get home or not yet.
I'm gonna say not yet. You sounded like you spent like 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, so I would need to wait like a couple of hours, which would be way too late for me to get home.
True.
So...
You'd be cutting it awfully close.
Yes, so I think... because she doesn't see him coming in, after that she would just basically go home to her heaven.
Okay, cool. You get in a cab or in the rat stations and you travel home. We are going to cut away from you, and we're going to go to the guys at the chantry. You go to the main chantry, right? The one on Piccadilly, where Martha is. That is Alice, George, and Izron.
I guess so.
Alright. Izron, you take another route. Go ahead and roll.
Naturally.
Go ahead and roll stealth dexterity. Your difficulty is 2. It will be a lot. It will be a lot higher, but the storm is raging and protecting you.
Hell, that hit stealth. Dexterity. Confirm. And you said the difficulty was 2?
Difficulty 2.
Yeah, okay. Roll.
Nice. It takes you considerably longer to reach there, but you avoid all contacts in the streets. I'm gonna say that Alice and George, you guys arrive, and Izron is nowhere to be seen. You do have contact with him, so he will be there in 15 minutes. Do you wait for Izron, or do you go inside?
We should wait. It will be easier if he's here with me.
Alright. If I roll above a 90, you guys are fucked. Nope. In an adjacent room, a cop car passes, lights on, but it's nowhere remotely close to you guys. In about 15 minutes, from a dark side alley emerges the shaded figure of Izron, and checks the length and breadth of the street to see that nobody is there. And you are now together.
I apologize. There was some complication on the way.
Here in central London, such complications are to be expected. Now then, a few rules. If it looks magical, don't touch it. If it looks old, don't touch it. And be polite, obviously. You are entering the domain of a primogen.
Who do you take us for, George? We are the bestest vampires with the utmost respect for your primogen.
I thought we weren't meant to use the V word.
To use it in polite company. I don't think either of us really cares. The chantry will.
Well, let's get going. No point standing around.
Indeed.
At this late hour, the Kine entrance is locked. You go through a side entrance, which is perfectly concealed, so no checks required. And you enter, like, there are several like chantry levels. Like, the first chantry levels are for, you know, the new learners. There are a few new learners at this hour, mostly buried in books or quietly chatting over dim light. There's a second level. This is one of those bookstores that has more stairways than levels, where people like you, neonates, that is to say, George, would hang out, and there's the massive door that leads into the inner sanctum. Usually if you have guests, you're not allowed to bring them there, which is where the primogen currently is. You've been told that she's here, and you suspect Baruch is there as well. They wouldn't be allowed there. You can wait.
Right.
You can wait on 2 for someone to come out. It might not happen at all.
I think he'll... Right, so... Another rule I forgot to mention. Those big doors, you are not allowed through them. Someone might exit at some point. We should do that map thing.
Okay.
Do you have any maps around there?
What kind of research would that be, George?
I mean, I think since the front for it is a bookstore, there'll probably be like those ordnance survey maps. They're a thing in the UK. We have a
Yes!
whole company about them, and they'll be in like the front area.
Oh, you can
So
go
George
there.
just pick one up.
Yeah. No check required to merely determine where it is. Sirenster, Oakley Woods. That is far to the west, slightly above the what's it called? The Burlinger Strait thing? Not the Burlinger Strait. The Bay of whatever. The Cardiff Bay.
Yes, he'll
It's an unremarkable kind forest.
he'll mark the location on the GPS, and then he'll use it to. Then he'll mark where the bookstore is and draw out a route. And then also like type instructions into the phone as well,
Alright.
just in case.
May I keep the physical map?
Yes, you. The instructions are just to retrace your steps if you get lost. I've listed a number of landmarks on the way, street names, the like.
Right.
Although it will likely be quicker if you simply take the Ratway over to the west.
Well, since I'm the entourage, it's all up to Alice.
Right. Did you... Are you off to do your research now, or...?
Yes, I am. The weather is currently rather concerning in a magical way. That's why I'm here.
Right. Well, best of luck to you.
Yeah, don't
Yes,
get
best-
killed.
Best of luck to you too. Try not to get torn apart by one of the dogs.
Yes. Oh, the Primogen suggested we bring weapons.
I have my weapons right here, and he holds up his larger than life hands.
I should be able to acquire some for you. What kind are you looking for? These are werewolves, so probably something a bit more melee. I don't think bullets really work on them.
I would not know.
What kind of decent melee weapon can George get his hands on relatively quickly?
There's an armory within the chantry. It is down in the dungeon. And it also has
Is it
silver
the kind
bullets.
of armory he's allowed to give to someone outside of the Tremere? Like a thing
there's
from it?
there's bureaucracy. You're gonna have to ask someone, and there's nobody here to ask. If I roll above a 65, someone comes out of the big doors. Nope. That is me rolling, not you. Have you clicked? Nobody comes out. In order to take anything other than a big knife and a 9mm with normal bullets, you're gonna need to get permission. You're gonna need to go and talk to Baruch at the very least.
Yeah, that might be. I can't get any things particularly major from here without paperwork. I will
Right.
speak with my sire if he's here about it, as part of what I'm already here for. Wait in the lower area. You will likely get in trouble for being in this section without me.
As you say, Mr. Weston.
You go on ahead, George.
Alright. We're gonna do Alice and Izron first. You guys troop into the quiet area. There are many secluded spaces to stand in that are very poorly lit. Do you interact with any of the suffering, I want to say, neonates?
I think that childe is
Childe,
the
yeah.
lowest area.
Yeah, I meant new people, newly turned people. Do you interact with any of the childe, or do you?
I think Izron would know better than to disturb, being an Aussie,
True.
Alice will be polite, smile at them, but not approach.
Yeah. You find a secluded corner and one particularly curious child pops on basically from the woodwork. And he says very primly, "You're an Nosferatu. I've read about you."
You did? Well, what did you read? Humor me.
You can turn invisible. Can you turn invisible?
No.
Oh, really? Oh, I wanted to see that.
Lovely weather we have out here. Right?
Oh, you're no fun. Yeah, you're in the London chantry and you want to talk about the weather. No, man, this place contains the well, not that I'm allowed there, but this place contains the collected knowledge of... well, never mind. He looks at you, Alice, and he says, "What clan are you?"
I hail from the clan Gangrel.
He ponders. And he says, you do animals. Yeah, I'm not interested in that stuff. Well,
What do you do?
I'm a thaumaturge, and he starts outlining like the current, probably top secret ritual that he's studying. But after about 20 seconds, he's like, "Wait, I'm not supposed to tell them this." And he's like, "Oh shit! I mean, fuck! I mean, you forget? Can you forget that I said anything? I'm doing research, important research. Not important. I'm not important. I'm nobody important."
Do you perhaps do any mundane research?
Mundane research. He says, in life I used to be a machine engineer. I used to repair or design and repair difficult access vehicles. I used to be a car mechanic in life. But this is so much more interesting.
Well, interest does come at a cost,
He says, yeah, we... Like, sometimes I wonder what's the good of knowing anything if you can't tell anyone? Like, knowledge for knowledge's sake? Like, how daft is that? It's like philosophy, like, thinking about thinking. Like, who does that? It sounds so boring.
You're not gonna last long, I have a feeling.
Oh, I am incredibly skilled, friend. Oh, come on, show me some discipline. Show me some kindred stuff that only you can do. Do you have the claws? Is that? Oh, that's not the Nosferatu. That's those other guys. The Russian guy.
Alice will hold up her hand and use feral weapons for a second and extend them into
Nice.
claws.
Nice. That does require a rouse, though.
Yep.
Yep. Go ahead and rouse.
Ooh.
Let me check if I have
You get
advantage or not.
you get hungry.
Hongi.
Might have advantage because of my. Where is anything on this sheet? Ah, yes, I can reroll. Nope, that's level 2. Never mind. Yes, I get hungry.
He studies you, and then he studies the glow, and he says, "This is fascinating." He's like, "May I?" And he kind of hovers over your taloned hand. What does it look like? What do your talons look like?
I think they're like just very neat, sharp, like long, sharpened versions of her nails, just like pale white, curved long nails.
He says, this is so interesting. This is, what's it called? This is calcium growth. They come out of your nails. And the nails, they're only, like he says some medical term, like they're historically connected to your bones. They're not actually bones that are up to, yes, this can rip through cartilage and bone for kind. But of course, is as a normal weapon to us. It's certainly not fire, and it's certainly not, well, sunlight. And he kind of feels them a little bit, and he gets cut a little bit because they're like so sharp. Oh shit!
Apologies.
My fault entirely. I'm Camden. What's your name?
Alice.
Thank you for showing me this, Alice. I would shake your hand, but I'm too afraid that you're gonna rip it off. If
Do you
you're
suppose these
Yeah,
would
go
be
on.
effective against wolves?
Against werewolves? No, nothing. Nothing much. Nothing much damages werewolves other than silver. You shouldn't
I
be
see.
fighting. You shouldn't be fighting werewolves. That's only for elders. Like when you see, smell, or even hear about a werewolf being within spotting distance of you, you should be going the other way. You should definitely not be going to where they are, unless you have a pack of fucking Gangrel with you.
Don't let them discourage you. I feel like you would be an excellent werewolf hunter, Alice.
No, you're going to instantly die. He says, if you're ever around the chantry, thank you for showing me this. I'd love to help you out as well. I'll give you a minor boon.
Oh, that is quite generous of you. Thank you.
That's a child Tremere. He's not going to be very useful, but his name is Camden. If you want to write it down somewhere in your notes.
Yep, I have.
For entertaining this guy, you have a minor boon. He kind of cringes away as there appears to be somebody who is more in charge, maybe even on George's level. He's kind of hovering around. He's, oh shit, I need to go. Bye. And he skulks between the shelves away from you. And he sits back in his place. Do you just wait for George? Or do you want to do something else?
Question for Alice.
Yeah, go on.
So, Alice, if you don't mind me asking, what do you remember from, the time you used to be alive?
Of my life or of my death?
Or anything before that, really?
Well, I do not recall what happened to me at the end, but I lived a quite ordinary life. I had a husband, a child, and
Shame that. Well, you're here now, So I suggest you make the most of it.
Did you have an ordinary life?
I was an ugly bastard even before, well, this. You know, I wasn't exactly what you would refer to as a nice. Which is in part why I got turned into, well, the monster I have become.
Well, you seem fine enough company.
Yeah. The Nosferatu curse does tend to humble one a little bit.
Were you particularly prideful before?
Oh no. My sin was greed. Always more to take.
But that has changed?
Well, you do tend to lose a lot when you, well, can't go out. Period. But it's not that bad.
Nods. Don't think she has anything more to say, if you don't.
Nope. That's all I wanted to know.
Wait for George.
Alright. The two massive doors open and you enter the inner sanctum, George. And Baruch almost bumps into you. And he says, "Ah, my boy, come, come."
I'll nod and follow.
He says, you're just in time to sample our new invention. And he leads you into the back room. You see Martha there. She's bent over a little notepad and is writing something down. She puts a finger up to tell you to wait for a second as she finishes writing. And then she smiles. I don't have a picture of Baruch, but I do have one of Martha. I will show you it. Over here. She says, "George, is it? Come in, come in. We have just invented something." She seems to be in high spirits.
Of course, inventions are always rather good.
A little pitcher of a blood red liquid is on her desk, and a pair of shot glasses, and she pours it into 3 shot glasses. And she looks at Baruch and she says, "You know, if you've trained him well enough, he should know that he shouldn't be drinking from random potions." And she picks up her shot glass. Baruch warps around you. He picks up his shot glass, and then they look at you, but they don't drink. It is a swirling red liquid, not quite blood. Maybe the texture is a mix of blood and butter.
What do I roll to see what this is?
I'll let you roll politics, or I'll let you roll wits. I'll let you do science. Wits science. It's not investigation because you're not. I guess you are investigate. If it is investigation, I'll give you a high difficulty. But you can also roll insight to see if you can, through your people skills, get in on the joke. Whatever this is.
Yes, I will wits insight because he's a biologist, not a chemist.
Yeah.
Wait, did I have to reset the difficulty? When
No,
the
that's okay.
last... Oh, okay. That's fine then.
We can just look at how much you wrote. Yes. You know exactly what this is. This is thaumaturgy, alchemy thaumaturgy. Baruch does this stuff, even though he's a physicist. They are effectively light vampire drugs. They are drugs specifically designed for vampires. Most of the time they don't work. Some of the times they work mildly, and occasionally someone's head explodes. They look at each other, they look at you, you are hesitating, and they drink theirs. And they slam their shot glasses down. What do you do? There's no way to tell what its effects are unless you put it on a thaumaturgy table under a microscope or even a mass spectrometer.
He's going to look at it, look back at them, very slowly put it back down and say, forgive me, but as the Primogen said, it would do me better to wait and see, shall we say.
They laugh, the Primogen says, this one is wise, he's gonna make it far. And then she wobbles on her feet and sits back down, and she says, what even is this? And Baruch says, I will be damned if I know. And he also wobbles and sits back down. And he says, oh wow, it feels like, I don't know what it feels like. It feels like, and she strokes her temple. And she says, it feels like marijuana? But when you take too much, I haven't had this since my alive years. And Baruch says, I think it's pretty enjoyable. You don't know what you're missing, George. And he also sits down and wobbles a little bit. And they giggle to each other, and they say, anyway, what brings you here?
Oh, a few reasons, actually. I was thinking about looking into the ongoing weather situation. It's not exactly difficult to tell that it's unnatural in nature. And since it affects the kine, that does mean it affects me.
One moment,
And
please.
in general, of course.
So it's under Martha, right? Mm-hmm. One sec, please. Yeah, Martha leans back forward. She strokes her temple and she says, wait, the storm? Ah, the storm. Yes, someone did say. I personally would find, I personally have other more important things to study other than the storm. Even though it's like citywide, it doesn't seem to attack anyone. But of course, you are free to investigate at your leisure why anyone would concern themselves with the storm is beyond me, though. And Baruch is like, well, you know, he's new. Let him stretch his. intellectual muscles. Martha says, yeah, whatever. Best of luck to you, George.
What would I roll to see if George can figure... So, this storm, I, out of character, think it's some kind of distraction for something. Like they're making a lot of noise to cover for something else. What would I roll to see if George can, like, put that together, or if that's even correct?
You say they. Who do you think they are that are doing what you said they were doing?
I'm not sure what he would know in character. Like, out of character, like, it could be anything from spirits to fae to mages. I'm not sure that he would know that.
I haven't given you any information almost in character, so go ahead and merge your out of character and in character. Whatever you suspect out of character, you can suspect in character as well.
Okay, right. Well, it seems to be making quite a lot of noise for no apparent reason, which, considering the impending bow of the owls, does raise some concerns.
Baruch says, that's actually very interesting. Martha says, well, this city is lousy with magic. Whatever it is, if it's not the chantry, or if it is the chantry, I should say, then it would be concerning us. If it's kindred magic. If it's kind magic, Baruch says you should get to the bottom of this.
That is firstly what I intend to do, but thank you. Oh, and also, matter that is a little easier to handle. One of my associates within the coterie I was assigned to, she has been instructed to go to the Gangrel and engage in one of their hunts. Would you care if I were to procure her a silver weapon from the armory?
Martha says, "Oh, this is probably Kitchener's fun right there. Send the childe to hunt werewolves. Yes, you should get her a high tier, one of the police armors, an automatic weapon, several silver bullet clips, and maybe even a couple of knives. You should actually go with her, probably. She will surely die there if she is not constantly supervised, and you know how Norad gets. When she's on the hunt, she kind of forgets that she's the only one that can survive being run over by a truck."
He has a Nosferatu attending to her as well, but I will make sure to attend to the best of my abilities. I'm not really a werewolf hunter.
She flips a notepad page and she writes, full tactical equipment plus werewolf package for 3, and she signs it and she gives you it. Give this to the armorer. He will see that you are armed.
Of course, thank you. Have a good night. Do you mind if I take this for a rainy evening? And he points to the vampire drugs.
Baruch says that has a half-life of another maybe 10 minutes. This is not kind spirits. Vampire thaumaturgy doesn't last very long in alchemy format. Unfortunately, it's now or never.
And since I shall be putting my unlife on the line, I am afraid I will have to abstain.
They laugh at you, and Martha says, "Yeah, he's gonna make it far, if that bloody storm doesn't kill him." And yeah, they wave you off.
Yeah, I'll leave and head back down to the other two.
You run into... let me just read this real quick. Before I do that. roll wits awareness as you're walking out.
Okay, there's awareness.
All right, you have 4 seconds to decide if you want to investigate this or not. I'm counting in my head. You see a folder that has the 2 snakes over the cup. That's like the medical symbol, and it says confidential, Thomas Raid. You have 4 seconds. Do you stop or do you go?
He will. I think he'll stop because, like, technically speaking, he's staff at the hospital. So in theory, it's fine.
All right. But you do remember where you've seen that name?
Yes.
Yes. Lovely. You hover over it. Baruch sees you hovering over it, and he says, "Oh yeah, that's that mutant guy's blood work. What do you make of it?" And he pours a second shot for them, for him and for her, for herself. And
I wouldn't know. The only report I got was that he almost died, and then he didn't. Do you mind if I
not
don't
at all.
look?
What do you
Right.
make of it?
What do I roll for this?
Some kind of medicine check. You're reading actual blood work.
I do have high medicine. But, could I do investigation with forensic specialty?
Yes, absolutely.
And that would be intelligence?
Intelligence, yeah.
Okay, how do I add the, intelligence? How do I add the special? Do I just add an extra vampire dice for the specialty?
Sure. Add a vampire die, not a hunger die, the other one.
Okay.
Alright, 3 successes. You can, if you want to, willpower reroll. Which you roll 3d10 and you take some of the dice that weren't successful and you reroll them. So you get to roll 3d10, or maybe even click the willpower thing on your character sheet. There's probably a way to do that.
As a roll willpower check.
Do that.
It's giving me 6 vampire. Do I just roll? It's giving me 6 dice to roll.
That depends on your. Hold on. No.
You can only reroll 3.
Yeah, you need to roll 3. Yes. Willpower. Yeah, reduce that to 3. There's probably another way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, when I click, there's a minus and plus next to the number.
Yeah.
That you...
Yeah.
Yeah, just the
See
3.
that. Okay, I'll spend a willpower for that, I suppose.
Yeah, you take superficial willpower damage, which will heal at the end of the scene. And you have 4 successes. Alright. The particular lipid of rage is 750 times larger than a normal person. This guy is 750 times over gotten so angry that he pops an artery. He should be dead from a heart attack. He has taken something that has made him so mad that he should be dead. And the chemical work is like consistent with, LSD or whatever drug makes you angry.
Okay, is this werewolf angry?
Werewolf angry. That will be occult. You're gonna need to make another roll.
Okay, intelligence occult?
Occult intelligence, yeah. Here's the end of the session. Thank you, Alice. I will make note. You do roll like shit, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not having a very good night.
No, you see, this could well be a werewolf, yes, but you have seen like the prior pages were like pictures of the of the patient. You know, he was bound to a bed. He has like the veins coming out of his neck. Like one of his eyes is blood red shot. He's like fighting the things. No, a werewolf would just go into Krynos form at this point and wreck whatever hospital is holding him. And then fight vampires until he can fight no longer. No, this patient ran. He was initial, like they found him out in the street. You know, it was reported that someone was having a seizure. He fought the first paramedic team, then the cops were called, then he fought the cops as well. Like he inflicted heavy injury on one of the police officers. So more cops had to come in. He was tased. The taser couldn't hold him. They almost shot him. He was beaten, like the back of his legs was beaten until they broke. Like there's a picture of like his fractured leg bone where they beat the shit out of him to like stop him from, and then he was bound. And at that point, someone from the vampire world caught the chatter on the radio, and Ominous had this guy rerouted to the Winter Queen's hospital. That's where the trail ends. This is an old document from earlier in the night, and it doesn't mention anything about him jumping from the 4th floor, which is what Alice said.
Okay. So he'll push up his glasses, lean down to look at it, then look back at Baruch and say, "That man should be dead from either a heart attack or some kind of bursting blood vein. That amount of cortisol is not healthy. I don't think you can even get that amount of cortisol without some kind of unnatural interference. Cortisol is the anger hormone, I think.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Probably. We'll go with it. It is in our world now. Martha says, there we go. 750 times above the norm, it said. I have some... I think that warrants more investigation than whatever little human mage is drawing circles in his basement to summon the storm. But I wouldn't presume to order you.
To be quite frank, I'm very much in agreement. Because this... Could someone achieve this with some kind of thaumaturgy or alchemy?
Baruch says, I almost know the exact ritual that will do it, or can find it until morning. Yeah, it sends them into a frenzy. They break themselves upon their enemies. I make a potion. I inject it directly into their veins. It incubates for about 9 or 10 hours. Then they have a seizure, and then the symptoms are almost, and he strokes his chin, and he says almost word for word. I might be wrong though. Until I actually get actual blood work and not only documentation of blood work, I wouldn't be able to
presume
try.
to correct you, chemistry isn't really my area, but this, to me, like a kindred, is doing something they definitely shouldn't.
Martha says, you should definitely interject. The Winter Queen is probably already blaming us, the chantry, for this. She's gonna be like, oh,
Yes.
this is Tremere Theater, they're fucking with me again. Like, you know how she is. You probably don't know how she is.
I know how she is somewhat. She generally tends to leave me to my basement and only talks to me when there's a strange dead body that needs analyzing.
Baruch says, you should use the equipment there to study the blood, or if you can get a... well, it'll probably be fine in this weather if you keep it outside, but if you can get one of the portable fridges thing, you should bring me a vial of his blood. I will be able to tell you more in our lab on the 2nd floor that you know about.
Yes, that is something I will look into.
Martha says, but don't steal the blood. The Winter Queen needs to give you her permission, otherwise you'd be that Tremere thief.
I will not. I have no intention of stealing the blood. I will attempt a negotiation, I suppose. Ugh.
That will be best.
Right, well, thank you. I have business with my coterie.
Enjoy, and they slam another drink down. As you walk these times, the symptoms appear to be different. They are cackling. As you open the door, you spot, coming towards the door, another neonate by the name of Roddy. He says, George, these two are with you, probably. I didn't see you come in.
Yes, they are. I told them to stay in the childe section.
Very good. I was just checking. Carry on. And he goes to walk past you and inside the room where the primogen and the elder are. Or the ancilla, I guess, is what Baruch is.
Then I'll continue going to where I told the other two to wait.
Alright, you are the three of you once again together. We are going to quickly go to Bodhi to see if Bodhi wants to go home or if he wants to go somewhere else.
I wanna go home. I was hoping to do a premonition so we would end on a cliffhanger, maybe.
Okay, we will see about that. We have 7 minutes until midnight my time, which is where we're gonna end. Does anyone have anything particularly they want to do tomorrow, or do you want to play for another hour? If even one of you has something to do, no judgment, we're gonna stop here. If you guys are keen to play, we can play for another hour.
Fine with continuing.
Say or message me privately in Discord. I gotta go and I will pull the plug. I'm counting to 10 in my head. We are going to stop in about 7 minutes. Those of you that have to go can go. We will go to Bodhi as Bodhi returns home. Bodhi, you can do what you wanted to do. Is that a mechanic?
I want to remind the GM you can at any point be like, oh my god, vision time.
Sure.
And then I do it for free, otherwise it's a rouse check. But then I also have to...
It's the first evening, so you would have to roll if you want to tap into the Malc network.
It's not necessarily... It doesn't have to be the Malc network. It could be anything. But
link it.
Yeah, we will. Let's see. How do I link there?
Yeah. Okay. I know how this is.
But yes, that's how I would do it. That it is connected to the Malc network, but it doesn't have to be, because technically non-Malcs can get this. So.
Okay. Even vivid visions. Yeah, vivid visions are the most fun.
Yes.
So it is appropriate. Or gives a character a sudden hint that aids him in some way. Okay.
Yes, the subject I would like to focus on.
Yeah.
You can interpret that what you will, but what Bodhi is focusing on is Alice fighting werewolves.
All right, cool. Rouse the blood.
Yes.
Ooh.
Damn.
All right. As you begin to have a premonition, let me read this stuff. Seems appropriate. Always gives a storyteller license to subtly speed up play. Roll resolve aspects. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alice. I just got that. I just got that far.
Let's see.
Determines the level of insight, and the duration is passive.
Ooh, how do I do this in the sheet? Discipline here. Aspects.
Yeah.
There we go. Ooh, you add blood potency too, it seems. Maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow, 3 successes. Alright.
So what this looks like is
Yeah.
he waits until the kitchen is empty, and he starts making pain brie, which is a famous Normandy bread.
Alright.
And for people looking at him, he looks clearly upset, but he has instructed people to not stop the process.
Alright. It befalls you like a sudden storm. It is not images of Alice that you see, but it is of Norad. She has a sword in her hand, and she says, "Because the night demands it, the difference is not virtue, it's honesty." Then there's like a flash forward effect, and she says, "London is ours, mutt." And then there's another flash forward, and she says, "I am not without mercy." And she turns around, she points the sword at Alice, and Alice is like looking like a deer in the headlights, and she says, "It'll be her which will decide." And that is where it ends in a shake. You do get hungrier. It is the beast that is clawing in the inside of your skull. Trying to break
yes, what it would. My suggestion for a bestial failure is that I absolutely wreck the kitchen.
There's no need to have. It's a possible failure. It doesn't need to.
Oh, okay.
To be an expression of the failure. It is more that you would have gotten more info if it were not a failure.
Yeah, I just trusted the program there.
Yeah.
So I was also as busy. Or I'm mixing up name. Alice wrote
Alice,
in
yeah.
Discord.
Yeah, Alice and
I
Elizabeth.
was
Yeah,
also
it
under the
struggles.
impression that you can't bestially fail in hunger.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's weird. Yes, but that was exactly what I expected.
We will.
Yes.
Unless we have any last minute admin. 3 experience for everyone. 4 for Bodhi, who completed a compulsion with flying colors, and 3 for everyone. 4 for Bodhi. 5 for Alice as catch up.
Hey.
We are going to cut to YouTube.